This is about the second time that, the second or third time I'm trying this, so just bear with me. The reason why I'm doing this is because I feel just another voice out of already many sounding and warning that the soon return of the Lord Jesus is upon us, and I believe that it's right at the door. But my message today is with regards to the good man and the evil servant. In other words, the pastor that's teaching truth, and the evil servant, the pastor that's not teaching truth. Reading from the King James Version Bible, Romans 13:12 says, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light." So it is important that these days that we put on the armor of light, we cast off the works of darkness, that we really set our hearts and our minds on the Lord Jesus Christ and His soon return, and that we start to walk in the light. Many pastors not doing this. They are only interested in their church programs, not offending people, and the church programs that are going to exist for the next 10 years, the latest car that they can buy, and making their church building a bit bigger so that they can increase their numbers. But the last thing they're doing is warning people that the Lord is at the door. And if you look at in the book of Revelation, where the Lord speaks to the Laodicean church, He says that He's standing at the door, but He's not standing on the inside, He's on the outside. You must note that. He's not in the church there, the Laodicean church, He's on the outside of it. Anyway, reading from the King James Version Bible, only authorized English version, I believe. I want to read this to you. We go to Matthew 24 to 40, starting with the rapture. Now, Matthew 24 here in this section is not talking to the Jewish nation, he's talking to the church. Then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then we go to Luke chapter 12, verse 42 to 48. And it's very interesting when you parallel these scriptures. It says, And the Lord said, Who then is the faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give him their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he hath. But and if that servant say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the menservant and the maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, should be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given of him shall be much required, and to him to whom men have committed much of him they shall ask the more. You need to take a note here that there's two types of pastors being spoken about here: the good pastor and the bad pastor. It says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? That is the good pastor. And the Lord will reward him greatly for his good work, and for giving his flock meat in due season. But the evil servant, the one that teaches that the Lord is delaying his coming, and is smiting the flock, teaching error, having a party, fellowshipping with the wrong crowd, and clearly not warning his flock of the Lord's imminent return. He's going to find himself being cast into the tribulation period, left behind. And that's what I believe this verse in 24:51 is talking about. I shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites, where there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Can you imagine the thousands of Christians that we left behind, realizing they've been left, realizing that some have been taken and they've been left, and they have gone into the Great Tribulation. Well, how can you prove this is going to happen? Well, you just have to read the story of the parable. I shouldn't say story, but parable of the 10 virgins, the 5 foolish and the 5 wise. That clears this whole thing up. So I'm going to stop here now, and I'm going to carry on with part 2. Make this part 1 and make part 2 now. Cheers.